Mishmash! Kitbash Corner!
Hey, today we are continuing the Sons of Medusa army project in the form of some heavy hitters. This, of course, being Centurions. Now, I did make mention of these guys in the previous episode of the ongoing series. Also, check those videos out, please. It would make me very happy. I used to have quite a few reservations for this unit. I used to think it was stupid, looked dumb, I didn't like the idea of a Marine within a Marine. But over time, my heart has softened, and I quite like this unit. Like with the previous episodes, I'm going to be doing some subtle kit bashing. I haven't gone into anything bombastic just yet, but I do think that subtle kit bashes can be just as effective as the more elaborate. And if you're one of the few Iron Hands or Iron Hand successor enjoyers in the crowd, these videos will definitely be right up your alley. But before we get into all that kit bashing goodness, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, share it with a friend, hype the video if you're on mobile, and if you really dig it, consider becoming a channel member. For just $3 a month, you get to see my videos early, and for $5, you get access to a weekly Q&A stream in which I'll showcase your models. You also get access to exclusive roles and channels within the Mishmash Discord, you get to see some sneak previews, and just other little things that I'm working on, but above everything else, it just really helps me out. Huge thank you to my channel members. You guys are amazing. But if you want to help me out in other ways, like helping yourself to amazing hobby products, you can use my affiliate links in the description for Galleri and Wargames Atlantic respectively, and make sure to plug in those discount codes. But enough of the promotional stuff. I think it's about time we get into the pseudo-kit bashing. Now, like I said, I really didn't kit bash this squad all too much. This is due primarily to the fact that Centurions really are their own thing. Kitbashing Terminators of any kind of works in its own right, and I guess the closest thing I could kitbash Centurions with would be Saturnine Dreadnoughts, but I feel like it's a little too gimmicky for my taste. I might do that for another project, but for the army, that's not exactly what I'm going for. I like how the base Centurions look, I didn't really want to change it too much. I also tried using different bits from different hero characters, and primarily why I did this is because Centurion helmets are a little bit bigger than most Terminator helmets, but most Dreadnought helmets are either too small or too gargantuan for Centurion bodies. So these guys are kind of uncomfortably sat in this purgatory/middle ground of not really being compatible with any other unit. The only way that you can really kitbash these guys in my eyes is to either go all the way, or in this case, go very subtle. Would I mind Centurion upgrade kits? Hell no, but more than likely they'd be for chapters I'm really not interested in. I could just use my 3D printer. But as for actually kitbashing the models, once everything was all built, I firstly began by adding on some servo skulls from Canik Var of the Iron Hands. I'm actually using this model as a hero character for my army, and I actually kitbashed him in one of the previous episodes, but I didn't really care for how the servo skulls looked on his base. Looked a little too much to me. So, in a bit of making this guy look a little taller, I ended up just gluing on some. Now, yeah, this is gonna snap off, and it already did, but I got nothing. I just like how it looks. I didn't really want to compromise this pose because I just preferred how it looked over just having it on the ground. So I'm willing to go over the headache of simply gluing it on more than one time. It's not the end of the world in my eyes. Only thing that would really bother me is if it got scraped to hell and back, but hopefully that won't happen. Also, the base kit has its own servo skull implementation into the power pack, or whatever you want to call this, but I also thought it might be interesting to add on some Horus Heresy bits later on. As for other Horus Heresy bits that I'm adding for this guy, I ended up using one of the older servo skulls from the newer Centurion Praetor. I swear to God that was actually coincidence, but it's also funny that they end up using the same names over and over again. That's cool. Considering I had to snip it halfway through to fit it on, I'm more confident than this one will stay in place, but I'm not expecting much. Don't use me as a good example. Use me as a bad example because I'm doing things that I really shouldn't be doing. But I won't be throwing away the excess parts of the servo skull. I'm always in need for extra cables for other kit bashes. Now, as for the melons, I should have magnetized the weapons for these guys, but I ended up gluing them hard to the plastic earlier, and probably should have saved the magnets for this. But I decided just for funsies, because I'm obsessed with just adding random magnets to my Marines now, that it would be kind of fun to Dremel out the entirety of the helmets in a bid of adding a little bit of extra customization. I ended up drilling them out and using a different bit from my Dremel kit to essentially sand things down to a smoother surface and make sure that the magnets actually had somewhere to go. I would try to do my best to really not overdo the dremeling, as you'll definitely notice a lot of the hurricane bolters on the chests are definitely melted from going too fast with it, so just be careful with that. Once the holes were completely dremeled out within the noggins, I would then add in my magnets, and they would slot in rather nicely. Just a little bit of super glue and making sure that the magnets are at the correct orientation. Or I guess deciding on which orientation I want to go with, just so I can make sure that they adhere to the bodies properly. I didn't really need to Dremel out the actual bodies for the sizes of the magnets I used, which was kind of nice. Because I snipped away at the base of the helmet where the neck piece is, it actually is around the same height it would be if I just glued it in properly. It's not really much in terms of customization, and it is kind of weird considering that Centurions are known for having so many different weapon options. So adding customization to something ultimately more cosmetic feels a little weird, but at the same time, I'm more of a painter than I am a gamer. Though at the same time, I'm kind of annoyed that I didn't try to do something a little bit more customizable. However, the magnetizing of the helmets was a far later addition, so I guess it doesn't matter that much. Also, another little bonus is I ended up modifying my liquid green stuff pot with some extra magnets on top, so I had somewhere to paint the helmets. Remember, these are sons of Medusa, so white helmets and green armor do not mix too well. I'm not looking forward to some of the metal models I gotta paint for these guys that I can't separate the noggins on. And to accentuate even further that this is not a terribly elaborate kit bashing video, I just decided to add one of the dreadnought lamps to one of the other Centurions. Now you might be wondering why I'm adding this to an already painted model. I kinda scuffed up the paint job on this, so I thought it would be fine to just simply go back and redo it. Kind of annoyed that I did this, however, because the paint I use for this army is Vallejo Model Color Light Green. You can't get that anymore. Can't get that anymore. Seriously, if you have a bottle of this, please contact my email. It would mean so much to me. But speaking of painting, at this point I was happy with how the models were built up, so I decided to go at it. Now, if you've watched the rest of the series, you probably know all too well I'm on my recipe of sorts of how to paint these guys. But it pats out the video a little bit. I like showing off my painting process, albeit how messy it is, and I like talking about my toys. I basically like to sponge on in the undercoat with some Caliban green and then just gingerly spray over using some light green from Vallejo Model Color. I find that Sons of Medusa are a little hard to capture as each of their greens are definitely different from one another over the years. They ventured off from being emerald green, which I prefer, to sort of a lime green in more recent years. But I will say that actually is a bit of a contingency plan if I truly cannot find any more light green. At the end of the day, there's 3 different war clans and they all kind of look different, so if I really have to buckle down and choose a different color, I'll just say it's reinforcements from another war clan. Though it's safe to say that my design philosophy is pretty much an amalgamation of all 3 war clans. If you know, you know. But to kind of steer things back to the topic of painting on hand, I definitely went a little bit crazier with these guys in terms of the decals than usual. After adding around 12 different decals to my Dreadnought, I thought it would be fun to really go crazy with these guys. And some of these were definitely a little bit more difficult than others. The placement of the Mechanicus logos is definitely one of the more difficult things I had to do for these guys, but I'll be real, I actually had quite a bit of trouble applying the regular decals to the actual pauldrons. They don't really have a lot of wiggle room, and a lot of decals just end up looking a little awkward. It's a flatter surface than a traditional Space Marine pauldron, don't get me wrong, but the spacing between the trim has me a little claustrophobic. The Assault Squad decals I had barely fit on the pauldrons, so 2 of them just have it on their wrist. But for the most part, I think it turned out pretty well. I didn't overdo it with the decals, and I even think I could have gone a little bit further, maybe added some more yellow checkers, but I'm still happy with it. And once the decals were set, I would then go over the entirety of the models using some dark rust wash from AK Interactive. The combination of the green and the slightly orangey wash is just a match made in heaven. And of course, right now, this guy looks like he's covered in doo-doo feces, He instantly looks amazing once I added just a little bit of white spirits. Wicking it away with some makeup brushes is definitely the go, and though I already really like how this method looks on the basic infantry of the army so far, I really think it shines on larger vehicles/units like the Centurions and the Dreadnought. Something about it just looks all the more grimy, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm really enjoying painting vehicles lately. If you're at all familiar with my content, you'll know that I just typically go for basic tactical marines to go along with all the weird niche chapters that I like. But since I've been doing this army project, I've been really trying to broaden my horizons again. Last time I built a proper army was for the Death Guard in 2017, so it's been kinda nice to get back into list building again. Even though I'm not doing it for 10th edition, sort of, kind of building for 10th, I'm really enjoying just basically going back to my roots. It's not just nostalgia at this point either. I feel like I kinda missed out by not playing more back in the day. And I really want to make this army something special. And honestly, if you have any ideas for things that would probably look cool in this game, please do shout it out in the comments. I'm kind of collecting all sorts of things I wish I had back in the day, and I am kind of going crazy with some of these, and a lot of these are kind of in the building pile right now. I'm talking like old school stuff, by the way. Nothing really new. But again, a little straying off topic. Back to the actual painting. Once the grime is officially scraped off the model, I'd begin painting all the metallics using a mixture of magnesium and bronze from Proacryl, and I kinda went a little crazy with some of the lenses. However, I didn't really paint this on screen. Again, the specific color I'm going for really does kinda have ties to all three different war clans for the Sons of Medusa, which I guess kinda pokes a little bit of a hole in my plan for making up for missing units if I can't find the paint I need. But, I don't know. All the Sons of Medusa clans look cool in their own way, so I don't really mind going off script. Well, like I said previously, I really did appreciate the paint pot handle I ended up making using the magnets. One thing that really made this nice is the magnets were strong enough that if I really needed to rotate the model, I actually had it at my disposal to do so. I didn't really take advantage of this, however. I just ended up moving the paint pot. But I didn't want to go too crazy with detail. However, I will say the white I ended up using for the helmets is definitely a lot more stark than I usually do. But as a final detail on the painting of the helmets, I decided to go for the classic gold eye lens that is featured mostly in the Imperial armor books. If you haven't noticed with the other members of the army, I've been kind of switching up the different lens colors, mostly because I'm bad at choosing. But another reason I like giving them different colored eye lenses is I just kind of like mixing and matching. After all, they're knights, not stormtroopers. They all are supposed to have their own different gear. But once I added the basing texture and powders, I ended up with 3 amazing looking Centurions. Now, of course, they're not terribly kitbashed all too much, especially for what you guys might be used to on this channel. But I think these models speak for themselves. I'm really happy with how they turned out. And though I didn't go incredibly detailed with the painting, and building an army, of course, I only have so much effort I can put into one thing for a video, but I do think they look pretty damn good. And especially for tabletop standard. The white helmets really stand out, and though I do, again, kind of wish I dirtied them up a little bit more, I'm really happy with how they look. You instantly know these guys are Sons of Medusa. And I'm really happy with the amount of decals and weathering I was able to apply to these guys. They're kind of the amalgamation of everything that I'm good at when it comes to Space Marines. Weathering, being efficient, sort of, and cool niche chapters. I almost want to get more of these guys, and if I like how they play on the tabletop, that might be a definite. But that is something we'll have to get to some other time. For now, I have a lot of things I'm actually building, and this series might actually be churned out a little faster than usual because I have so much stuff I'm working on. More dreadnoughts, some other vehicles that are out of print, as well as some metal figures. But that's for down the line. A lot of you seem to really enjoy this series, which is awesome because I personally love working on it. But I think for now, I've definitely flat my beak enough for one video. So like always, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, share with a friend, and remember to mishmash, kitbash, and paint some fantastic miniatures. And you're gonna, I promise. See ya.